And in tonight's Future of Everything, we turn to the land down under, where a tech entrepreneur has done what any of us wish we could do if our dog got cancer. He used AI to beat that cancer by creating a treatment genetically made to save his best mate, Rosie. This is Paul Conyngham we're talking about. And when he was told that Rosie only had a few months left to live, he turned to ChatGPT. And then, with the help of some scientists at the University of New South Wales, he analyzed the healthy DNA sequences of Rosie, compared them to tumor-ridden DNA sequences, with AI doing all the cross-referencing to find the problems. And the result was a one-of-a-kind mRNA vaccine to treat Rosie, marking one of the first personalized cancer vaccines developed for a canine friend ever. And joining us now from Australia is Paul Conyngham. Paul, great to see you. I mean, I feel like what you did here, we're here in Los Angeles. I feel like Hollywood is watching this very closely, and they're like, oh, this is the beginning of a movie. How did this start?
Gadi, cheers. The way it really started was Rosie was misdiagnosed for about 11 months by her previous vet. And when I got the prognosis back that she had cancer, I went and did some research myself. Unfortunately, it was at a state where we could no longer treat it with traditional techniques. So I thought, like, what can I do myself? My skill set's AI, so I decided to apply that to the problem.
And did you have to convince anyone that you were not crazy and that this could be done, that this was possible?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So part of the hard part of doing this entire process was actually reaching out to professors, and the people that I collaborated with were like the most esteemed people in their field here in Australia. The way I sort of collaborated with them was by doing my homework. It was kind of like, you know, you're given an assignment. I would turn up with all this evidence of stuff that I've done, and they'd be like, wow, he's done the work. Let's talk to him. In a nutshell.
Wow. And at what point did everyone start taking you seriously enough that you realized that, hey, look, this could result in a vaccine, and I could be administering it to Rosie?
Really, that was after the ethics approval. So in Australia, you can't just make a vaccine. To do a drug trial, you have to get what's called an Australian ethics approval. And there's a whole sort of story arc to that, referencing your Hollywood mentioning earlier. There's a whole story arc that you can sort of follow about how we got the ethics approval. But in a nutshell, we got that. As soon as we got the ethics approval, we knew it was like a green light to proceed. And we did the vaccine development and the ethics approval in parallel to minimize the amount of time, because obviously with cancer, time is of the essence. And we were able to get it administered in December 2025.
Wait, so you cut through bureaucracy in all of this time? You beat cancer, you cut, this is like John Wick, except for instead of bad guys, it's cancer and all of the missions that you have to go through. It is wild. And then came the moment that you actually administered that vaccine. I imagine you were so nervous. And then when did things start to get better?
So I'm glad you mentioned that. I was extremely nervous going into this because obviously it was it'd never been tried before. But I started to see a result about 3 weeks after the administration of the vaccine. And also something I'd just like to mention, just as a shout out to all the vets out there, is the unsung heroes of the story is also the vet. Rosie's vet has been amazing. His name is Dr. Mina Gali, and he's one of the unsung heroes. If it wasn't for him, this whole thing would have been possible either.
Okay, Brad Pitt will play him in the movie. I do have to ask, though,
love it.
Anybody that sees this and anybody that has a loved one that has cancer right now, they're gonna immediately think, wait, is this possible? Can I do something like this? Can this be used to save my loved one? Is it this simple?
That's a really great question. So this whole sort of story has fired up many different debates. And one of the things that's been sort of brought to the forefront here is the fact that these mRNA cancer vaccines even exist. Prior to, I guess, the story getting out, it was kind of like an unknown thing. To come back to your question, I think like traditional sequencing companies and oncologists must be potentially not appreciating it right now because they've probably been inundated with requests to do just exactly what you described. But it turns out that we actually are working on something to help with this very problem. So we'll be potentially launching a company soon around exactly what you described. To help essentially alleviate the load that's going to occur as a result of all these inbounds coming in.
Yeah, it does seem like things are pushing forward at a tremendous speed, and everything happens for a reason. Paul, I'm so happy to hear Rosie's doing okay. Is she there by any chance? Is she around?
Yeah, I'll try to get her on the camera for you. 1 second. Just let me know if you can see that. She is...
Oh, sleeping and snoozing.
She's got a little NASA bandana on there. I got that at the Kennedy Space Center a few years ago.
Oh my gosh, to the stars. Well, Paul, seriously, you give so many people hope. It is an exciting time, a confusing time, and yet stories like yours, they are such an inspiration. Thanks so much for sharing your groundbreaking story with us.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.